WQOW. This is Eau Claire Zone News 18 live at 5.
This is the family that Mr. Patterson destroyed.
Jamie Kloss will never get her parents back. But today, 221 days after that terrible loss, Jamie has some closure as the man who stole their lives learned he will spend the rest of his life in a prison cell. News 18 has covered this case from the very beginning, and today we have team coverage bringing you the conclusion Jamie's family, the Barron community, and the nation have been waiting for. Our own Shannon Hoyt and Savannah Tomei are standing by in Barron to bring us the latest from the courtroom, and we'll hear Jamie's statement to the judge, delivered in its entirety in less than 3 minutes. But first, the conclusion to one of the most disturbing and high-profile cases in western Wisconsin history. It was just a little more than an hour ago we learned that Jake Patterson will spend the rest of his life behind bars for killing Jim and Denise Kloss and kidnapping Jamie Kloss, and he'll spend that without the possibility of parole. That sentence given by Judge James Babler with harsh words for the 21-year-old man.
There is no doubt in my mind that you are one of the most dangerous men to ever walk on this planet. You are the embodiment of evil, and the public can only be safe if you are incarcerated until you die.
During sentencing, Patterson interrupted the judge, saying he's not a bad person. What you just heard was the judge's response. Prior to that, 6 of Jamie's family members gave emotional statements, all asking for the maximum penalty. Let's head now to Barron, where our own Shannon Hoyt is standing by with more on what was said inside the courtroom. Shannon?
Keith, Jake Patterson hung his head and sat nearly perfectly still as family member after family member spoke about how he is to blame for shattering their lives.
My life was ripped apart and shattered into pieces.
Denise's sister, Jamie's cousin, her aunt, and 3 of Jim's siblings all asked the judge to impose the maximum penalty. Among the family members who spoke were 2 of Jim's brothers, and to say the emotion was high is an understatement.
Just give me a minute. And because of this monster, Jamie won't have her mom and dad at her dance recitals. Won't have her mom and dad at her prom, homecoming dance. My brother won't be able to walk down the aisle at a wedding day.
Others spoke about Patterson taking away their sense of security. They spoke about how they have terrible nightmares and how they still think they're going to wake up and this will all be a bad dream. Those statements referenced from Judge Babler as he sentenced Patterson to life.
Okay, thanks, Shannon. Now, while family members spoke all about what Patterson took away from them, they also talked about what he couldn't take from them, Jamie. And although she wasn't in the courtroom today, she did provide a statement which was read by a lawyer.
Judge, this is the statement of Jamie Kloss.
Okay.
Last October, Jake Patterson took a lot of things that I love away from me. It makes me the most sad that he took away my mom and my dad. I loved my mom and dad very much, and they loved me very much. They did all they could to make me happy and protect me. He took them away from me forever. I felt safe in my home, and I loved my room and all of my belongings. He took all of that too. I don't want to even see my home or my stuff because of the memory of that night. My parents and my home were the most important things in my life. He took them away from me in a way that will always leave me with a horrifying memory. I have to have an alarm in the house now just so I can sleep. I used to love to go out with my friends. I loved to go to school. I loved to do dance. He took all of those things away from me too. It's too hard for me to go out in public. I get scared and I get anxious. These are just ordinary things that anyone like me should be able to do, but I can't because he took them away from me. But there are some things that Jake Patterson can never take from me. He can't take my freedom. He thought that he could own me, but he was wrong. I was smarter. I watched his routine, and I took back my freedom. I will always have my freedom, and he will not. Jake Patterson can never take away my courage. He thought he could control me, but he couldn't. I feel like what he did is what a coward would do. I was brave, and he was not. He can never take away my spirit. He thought that he could make me like him, but he was wrong. He can't ever change me or take away who I am. He can't stop me from being happy and moving forward with my life. I will go on to do great things in my life, and he will not. Jake Patterson will never have any power over me. I feel like I have some power over him because I get to tell the judge what I think should happen to him. He stole my parents from me. He stole almost everything I loved from me. For 88 days, he tried to steal me, and he didn't care who he hurt or who he killed to do that. He should stay locked up forever. Judge, those are the words of Jamie Kloss, and it's been my privilege to deliver them to you.
Now, Jake Patterson was also allowed to speak today, although his statement was a lot shorter.
Do absolutely anything to bring them back. You know, I don't care about me. I'm just so sorry.
News 18 was the only local television station with a reporter inside the courtroom. Let's hand things off now to Savannah Tomei in Barron County. So, Savannah, at what point did emotions run highest in the courtroom?
Keith, I was just about 3 feet away from Patterson's father, and it was when his son made those statements to the judge that he really started to lose control of his emotions. But it was emotional for everyone in that room, the Kloss family, the Patterson family, even us as members of the media. It felt like the air was heavier in there. Everybody was relieved to leave the courtroom once it was over. And once it was over, there was a press conference held downstairs. Jamie's aunt, Jennifer Smith, said she was satisfied with the sentence Patterson got, saying it will give Jamie some much-needed peace of mind. She also talked about how Jamie is recovering from the ordeal.
I fully understand the interest and questions related to how Jamie is doing. I can tell you that she has made a great deal of progress, but obviously has much work left to do. She has spent time with her friends, has been doing her homework, and of course is hanging out with Molly.
Smith thanked those who have sent Jamie gifts, donations, and notes of support. She said Jamie has gone through every single one, and it's given her joy and smiles. Meanwhile, also at that press conference, District Attorney Brian Wright and Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald also spoke. We spoke one-on-one with the sheriff earlier today. You'll see that interview tonight at 10.
Okay,
Keith?
Thanks, Savannah. Our team coverage continues at 6. Join us then as Stephen Kelly looks back at what led us to today. Our court coverage continues now, turning to Chippewa County, where the man accused of killing 3 Girl Scouts and a mom was back before a judge today. Colton True is charged with homicide by intoxicated use of a vehicle and hit and run resulting in death. News 18's Shannon Satterley was in the courtroom today. Shannon, what can you tell us?
It was an emotional day in court. Only about a dozen people showed up to support Colton True, while half the courtroom was packed with friends and families of the victims who lost their lives. There were lots of tears when Colton True pleaded not guilty to the charges against him. Prosecutors say True and his passenger were huffing a can of air duster when the truck went off the road and hit the Girl Scout troops as they picked up a roadside litter. 3 girls and a mother died. Another Girl Scout was hurt. Police say True then drove home and went to a party. After True pleaded not guilty, his attorney said media coverage hurt his ability to get a fair trial here and requested the case be moved to a different county. District Attorney Wade Newell disagrees.
Where do they think in the state of Wisconsin they're going to find this county where they have no idea that this situation exists?
Judge James Isaacson made the decision to keep True's trial in Chippewa County, saying family and friends of the victims don't need the inconvenience of traveling to a different county. Judge Isaacson says if they're not able to find unbiased juries here in Chippewa County, then they'll discuss bringing jurors from another county here. Reporting live from Chippewa Falls, I'm Shannon Satterley. Back to you.
Okay, thanks, Shannon. True's jury trial will be held in January. If he's convicted, he faces more than 280 years in prison. In other sad news tonight, a young girl is dead after a tragic accident at a farm in Taylor County. Sheriff's officials there say a 12-year-old boy was driving a skid loader yesterday evening at a farm on Polly Lane in the town of Aurora. Investigators say the boy's vision was limited due to the feed bucket on the machine when he accidentally ran over his 2-year-old sister. The child's father rushed her to a Stanley hospital, but she died from her injuries before she could get help. Well, the holiday weekend is officially here. Meteorologist Justin Esterly is here to fill us in.
Keith, you got big fishing plans this weekend?
I do.
I saw your boat out in the parking lot. Good news is you're going to have a couple good days to do that. Unfortunately, as we get closer to the holiday, it's not looking as well. Now, right now, before you head out on the road, you're going to notice cloudy conditions out there. Temperatures trying to break into the 60s. In fact, right now we're sitting at 62. We're hoping to get a little bit higher there as the evening rolls on. But those southeast winds and that cloud cover continuing is going to probably keep us in those lower 60s. The good news is the next couple of days are looking much better, at least ahead of Memorial Day on Monday. Plenty of sunshine in the forecast tomorrow. Temperatures getting into the upper 70s. But we're going to talk about what Memorial Day has in store coming up in just a little bit.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Justin. We'll have an update on gas prices Memorial Day weekend travelers can expect to find later in the newscast. Next up, President Trump makes a decision on the request for more U.S. troops in the Middle East. Learn what was decided.